From 13 ABC, Conklin and Company, with 13 ABC Action News anchor Lee Conklin. First, with what's happening behind the headlines. And Take 3, our panel of political analysts.
And good morning, everybody. Welcome into another edition of Conklin and Company. Well, here comes the first presidential debate this Wednesday night at the University of Denver. 13 ABC will be there with our Washington Bureau Chief Jacqueline Policastro. We'll preview that with Jacqueline coming up a little bit later on, also with our Take 3 crew. And of course, we'll look back on the wild week that was with campaign appearances by President Obama and GOP nominee Mitt Romney on the same day, less than 30 miles apart. But first, the international and national problem that truly hits so close to home here in Toledo. It is human trafficking, the use and abuse of women and young girls in the sex trade. In 2006, the FBI identified Toledo as a major hub for the recruitment of young girls. And this past Thursday, the University of Toledo hosted an international conference to raise awareness about this incredible problem. Here's 13 ABC's Christian Brown.
Leanne Campbell was a prostitute for 16 years.
Well, there were some issues with lack of parenting. There was some abuse as a child, some molestation, some incest type stuff going on. And the minute that left my life, drug addiction was the perfect answer. Prostitution was the perfect answer. Money and drugs, forget all the trauma and the PTSD.
Now Leanne has turned her life around and helps other young women through Rahab's House. The nonprofit organization reaches out to women in our area.
Where we actually go into the streets and just support the women wherever they're at. It's not about saving them or, condemning them because they're doing what they're doing. It's just about supporting them where they're at so they can move forward.
Celia Williamson says some women who are prostitutes were victims of sex trafficking when they were younger. It's the reason the 9th Annual International Human Trafficking, Prostitution, and Sex Work Conference highlights them both at the University of Toledo. Turns out Toledo is a major hub for sex trafficking.
Toledo has its own FBI task force. There were 43 dispatched across the country, and Toledo warranted its own task force. So that tells you the level of problem that we have here with our own American kids who are under 18 being trapped in the sex trade.
More than 80 young women in Toledo under the age of 18 have been identified or recovered in recent years. The goal of this conference is to raise awareness about the issue and to give women and young girls who are trapped a way out. There is a 24-hour crisis line if you need help, 1-888-897-3232. In Toledo, Christian Brown, 13 ABC Action News.
And there are a number of other organizations designed to help women and prevent this from happening to others as well. And one of those other organizations is called the Daughter Project. Here to talk about the Daughter Project and a big event coming up in the coming weeks that will help the Daughter Project with its mission is Christy Gransgo. Thanks very much for coming in, Christy. We appreciate it. We heard about Rahab's House there and the Daughter Project, also helping women turn their lives around, get a new start. But we mentioned women, but we're also talking about extremely young girls.
Yes.
And tell us about the Daughter Project, if you would, Christy.
We are a group home, as a matter of fact, the only group home in Ohio that will house the girls to actually live there. And we have a bed for them, and they can live there full time. And
you just got approval, I understand, right?
We did. Yeah. We're expecting our first girl anytime starting next week.
Yeah, and you talk about a girl here, somebody who's 12 years old. I mean, the problem that is an international problem, nationally, and with Teresa Fetter and her work, we've seen what an issue it's become here in Toledo. For some reason, Toledo seems to be a hub for this.
Right.
But 12 years old.
Yeah, really average age is middle school, so 12 to 15 years old.
And what was the impetus in actually building a house? You got somebody to help you build a house. No mortgage, it's paid for, we understand?
Fully paid for, yes.
So how did that all begin, the genesis of the Daughter Project?
Jeff Wilbarger, who's a teacher at Emmanuel Christian School, he had the conviction that he should do something to help this problem, and he just got started researching and getting volunteers together, and we have Moline Builders who donated the labor and various material donations.
And then volunteers built this house.
They did, 100%.
Wow, amazing. And what about yourself? We understand you're going to be a mentor.
Correct.
For these girls. Tell us what will go into it with a girl who's been trafficked and trauma that is really unimaginable for so many.
As a mentor, I'll be going in the house weekly and pretty much just building relationships, building a trusting relationship with the girls. We'll be assigned a girl and just kind of build on our relationship with each other.
What's the first step? Is it just building the trust?
I think so. I think so. Anything from helping cook dinner, helping do homework, playing a game. I think just everyday things that you would do at home with your own kids.
And how do you identify someone? How does someone come to you? How do they know that there's somebody like Rahab's House or the Daughter Project? How do they know to make that connection?
We will get referrals probably mostly from social services and police. And I think a lot of these girls are foster girls, runaways.
Okay, okay. And you have a major event coming up in a couple of weeks. And I noticed on your website there are no, of course you don't put pressure on these girls.
Right.
Prayer is involved.
It is.
From your entity.
Yes.
But also it's important that they're able to laugh.
Yes. Yes.
And tell us about that, because you have this, we do have an event, a full screen, it's called Free to Laugh. It's the Daughter Project putting this on, and it's coming up on Sweetest Day. Christy, explain what this event is all about, if you could.
This is a kind of a pre-packaged fundraiser. It was created by a man in Phoenix, Arizona, who got the idea of free to laugh. So it's free to take a night off from the intensity of the issue and laugh to free. By laughing and paying for your ticket to go to a comedy show, you are helping to free these girls from human trafficking. And 100% of the ticket, which is $20, goes towards the Daughter Project. And we have 2 shows at 5 and 8 o'clock. So you can, for Sweetest Day, you can either hit the show and then dinner, or dinner then the show.
Coincidentally on Sweetest Day, right? I
yeah,
just happens to be on Sweetest
Yes.
Day. We wish you the best of luck with this.
Thank you.
Because we know that it's a monumental problem in this country, and especially for some reason here.
Yes.
Close to home, and to you for taking on, and other women mentors who will take these girls under their wing and try to turn their lives around.
Yes.
Best of luck. October 20th, it is Free to Laugh. Support this organization, the Daughter Project, and just go to their website. It is thedaughterproject.org.
Yes.
You can find out everything you need to know.
Exactly.
Christy Gransco, thanks very much for coming in.
Thanks.
Thank you. Come back in just a minute, and we will preview all the events coming up that are political this coming week. Big event out at the University of Denver when we come back.